Hi, today we're going to be looking at the V7S and the V7S Pro. I'm going to be showing you how these two differ and how they are the same. First, this on my right here is the V7S Pro, and on the left is the V7S. You can see that both of these are exactly the same. They have the same dirt bin here. If you open it, both of these robots use the exact same dirt bin here, and you can actually switch the dirt bin of the V7S Pro on the V7S and vice versa. These have the same sized bin, 500 ml. And if you look underneath these robots, let me just flip this over here. Let's flip the V7S and the V7S Pro. Let me just shut this down first. Both of these have the exact same layout on the underside. Both of them have the same sized brush. If you look at the brush, this is the brush of the V7S Pro here. This is the brush of the V7S. Exact same width. And I could actually use the brush of the V7S on the V7S Pro. We just slide this here and use the brush of the V7S Pro on the V7S here without any problems. Both of them have the same. Let me just put this here, put the cover here, cover of the brush roll here, and both have the same mop bracket. These are the mop brackets of both of these machines here. This is the bracket of the V7S Pro. You can actually use it on the V7S. And the bracket of the V7S you can use on the V7S Pro. Both of these machines have the same power. They have the same navigation. Both of them only have one side brush. The power switch is here on the bottom left, and both of them have the same remote. Let me just show you the remote. Exact same remote, exact same layout. And what is the difference between the V7S and V7S Pro? I would say it would be this water tank here. This would be the biggest difference between these two. Let's look first at the water tank, the V7S, the first generation. You could see that it has this rubber thing here is actually acts like a regulator. And if you look at the side of this water tank here, this is you can see that it has a hole here. This part here has a hole, and this acts as a release valve here. This hole here on the side is the release valve here. So imagine a milk box, opening a milk box. You want to drink your milk, you cut a hole on one side and you try to pour it, and the flow of water isn't smooth. and you have to cut a second hole on the other side. This opening here acts as that second hole that allows water to flow down freely. Here at the bottom here, you can see that there's two posts here. This is where the water comes out. The problem is though, there's nothing that covers this. You don't have anything that covers this hole, so water flows freely when you pour in water. It flows, it continuously drips down, and I'll just show you in a bit. Okay, I filled it with water here, and you can see that once you filled it with water, it will not drip continually, but you'll see that this thing here moves. This is the release valve here that lets the water flow down, and you can see that when I tilt this water tank here, water drips down here, and it will continue to drip when this water tank is in the robot. It will continually drip non-stop, even after you stop the robot. So this is one of the potential dangers of not having a stopper, a mechanism that stops the flow of water is you could there's a risk of water seeping through the motor inside the vacuum, which actually happened to one of my subscribers who commented that water seeped through the motor in the vacuum that he purchased. I don't know if it's the V7S, but it's a ILIFE with a mop, and this is and all ILIFE vacuums prior to the V7S Pro have the same type of water tank, the same design. So if you can see that it continuously drips water, and I'll show you the water tank of the V7S Pro here, and this is a different design here. Let me just try to focus this, and you can see that if you look on the side, you'll see this release valve here connected to a hose, and this valve and you'll notice that this water tank is completely shut. So this is the thing that releases water underneath here. And one viewer mentioned that it uses a magnet to release water, and I'll test it now. And I'll just fill this up with water, and I'll be right back. Okay, here's the water tank of the V7S Pro. I filled it up with water, and I don't know if you can see it. It drips on one side, but let's just observe a bit. And you'll notice that this may drip. Initially it may drip when you fill it with water because air is coming through from the top here. You have to remember that this tank is completely mechanical here, and I have a magnet here in my hand. I have a magnet, and let's see if it will drip when I place the magnet here. This magnet is not strong. It's just a magnet for it's just a magnet used on in the ref here, but it's not dripping. So I'm not sure if this water tank is activated by magnet as one of the readers suggested, but I'm guessing that it uses air because you can see that it has a small hole inside, and right now it's not dripping when I tilt it. It's dripping on this side, but it's not dripping on this side. Anyway, this thing is completely mechanical here. You can watch my other video where I test this in mopping mode. After I left the water tank inside the vacuum, inside the robot, and it didn't create a puddle of water, which did happen in the X5. And again, it's not perfect. The system is not perfect, but it's improved here. You can see that it drips on one side only, but not on the other side. But just to be sure, just to be on the safe side, I would not recommend leaving this water tank inside. Or if you're planning to if you're really pressed for time, make sure that you plug this part here, you plug both of these holes here underneath when you attach this mop, just to make sure that water doesn't get inside the robot and potentially damage it. But you can see that it's not really dripping. It doesn't have a continuous flow of water going down. So I guess this design has improved this water tank in terms of stopping drips on its tracks, unless you turn on the robot. And if you want to see this robot in action, you have to watch my other video, the mopping video of this. I just want to show you this, the inside of the V7S Pro here. When you look at this part here, let me just get a flashlight here. You'll notice that it has something here. I don't know if you can see it from this angle here. Let me just try to focus this here and move the camera. Okay, this part here, this small hole here connects to this small rubber thing here connects to this. Let me just put the flashlight here, the phone here. That part connects to this part here on the water tank. So here's the water tank, and that mechanism is responsible for the water flowing down on the water tank of the V7S Pro. The V7S, the first V7S does not have that part. This is the V7S. It's completely flat here. If you check this part, it's completely flat, so you will not see it. That part there is not visible, so you cannot use the water tank of the V7S Pro on the V7S. Again, before I stop this video, I just want to show you again the water tank of the V7S, the first generation. And I don't know if you can see the water dripping down as I tilt this water tank. You can see that there are drips coming down from both sides. And this is the V7S Pro water tank of the V7S Pro. I don't see as much drips. The drips aren't as visible. I really don't see any drips right now. And this is not completely foolproof. The design is not really water. The water tank isn't really perfect, that it would stop all of the drips, especially when you add water for the first time. I should warn you to expect drips coming out of the water tank when you add water. So, but right now, after 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 the water has been in the tank for the past 5 minutes or so, I don't see any drips. So again, an improved water tank